Hello, this is the 59th issue of Catch of the Day, available on the Branch Talk YouTube channel. Today we're going to continue reading from Doug Mitchell's book, The 3 Decrees to Build the Second Antitypical Temple and the Building the Temple in the Wilderness. Starting at the top of page 12, in the type, Cyrus's name was written in the Bible. Thus saith the Lord, thy Redeemer, and he that formed thee from the womb. I am the Lord, that maketh all things, that stretcheth forth the heavens alone, that spreadeth abroad the earth by myself. That saith to Cyrus, he is my shepherd, and shall perform all my pleasure, even saying to Jerusalem, thou shalt be built, and to the temple thy foundation shall be laid. Thus saith the Lord to his anointed, to Cyrus, whose right hand I have holden, to subdue nations before him. And I will loose the loins of kings, to open before him the 2-leaved gates, and the gates shall not be shut. I will go before thee, and make the crooked places straight. I will break in pieces the gates of brass, and cut in sunder the bars of iron. And I will give thee the treasures of darkness, and hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I, the Lord, which call thee by thy name, am the God of Israel. For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. Isaiah 44, verse 24, 28, 45, 4. Therein we find many things about Cyrus. That, 1, he is the Lord's shepherd. 2, he is to perform all the Lord's pleasure. 3, he is to say to Jerusalem, thou shalt be built, and to the temple thy foundation shall be laid. 4, he is the Lord's anointed. 5, the Lord has holden his right hand. And 6, the Lord has called him by name and surnamed him. A surname is an additional name, a title. Strong's 3655. Cyrus was not an additional name. A title of Cyrus the Persian, it was his first proper name. Therefore, those prophecies don't specifically apply to the typical Cyrus, but to an antitypical one. In the history of this movement, we have had one come forth proclaiming the opening of the judgment of the living, page 13, and that's found in Revelation 18:1, and decreeing that the building of Jerusalem and the antitypical temple, the Reformation, was to begin, and that those things, the Bible feast days including the Lord's Supper, that had been supplanted by pagan customs and traditions, were to be restored to the church, that is, Benjamin Roden. It is our understanding that he has been the one, and the only one, who can be considered to be the antitypical Cyrus, whose name, including his surname, the additional name, is written in the Bible. That is, in Psalm 68, which is a portrayal of the latter-day kingdom, the second antitypical temple. We read, is little Benjamin with their ruler. Psalm 68:27. The word with is in italics because it is not in the Hebrew. The Hebrew reads, there is little Benjamin Roden. The word Rodem comes from the root word roda, which is a verb that means rule, dominion, reign. Roda first appears in Genesis 1:26 and 28, where it says that God gave Adam and Eve dominion, rulership over the earth. Roda also appears in Numbers 24:19. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. It also appears in Psalms 110, verse 2. The Lord shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion. Rule thou in the midst of thine enemies. And again in Isaiah 41, verse 2. Who raised up the righteous man from the east, called him to his foot, gave the nations before him, and made him rule over kings. He gave them as the dust to his sword, and as driven stubble to his bow. Rhoda is a different word from those commonly used to designate rulers, chiefs, and princes. Marshal, Nasai, and Negid. And from its usage in the above quoted text clearly refers to the highest form of dominion and rulership, such as will be in the kingdom, Eden restored. From these facts, and in the context of how it is used in Psalm 68:27, Rodem appears to be a proper name, even a surname, an additional name descriptive of Benjamin's position in the kingdom at the time the psalm portrays. At the time Psalm 68 was written, the Hebrews were not in the general practice of using additional names, surnames, but that Psalms is descriptive of the latter day when the kingdom is reestablished in perpetuity, a time in which surnames are in common usage among most all people. Something to think about there. Take care.